Hey, this is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today we're looking at a Cadillac. This is a 2022 Cadillac XT5, so this is kind of their mid-size SUV going on. And yeah, for 2022, there really isn't anything new. So rather than talking about that, because, you know, paint colors, instead, we're going to just jump right into what I like and what I don't like, and then I'm going to give you some driving impressions. So let's take a closer look right now. So I want to start off by talking about the interior of the Cadillac XT5 because there are things that I like and there are things that I don't like here. So yeah, right here you can see a whole bunch of both. So I really love this wood grain on the steering wheel. I think it's attractive. It has a nice texture to it. It's real wood. You see it again on the dash here as a very slim accent and on the door. And I just think that adds a touch of elegance. I think it looks really nice. And I think that to me says, hey, this is a Cadillac, this is a luxury vehicle. You know, again, I like the emblem here. I like the steering wheel, and it's heated, and so my hands are really cold at the moment, and that feels really good. You have heated and cooled seats available. You have dual climate control in the front, and you know, you've got actual hard controls here. So I like all of that. Another thing that I really like is this right here. So not the screen, because that's one of those things that I don't like, but I really like the fact that Apple CarPlay is wireless. So you don't have to wire into anything to use Apple CarPlay, and I like that a lot, especially because if you look right here, there is a wireless charging pad. So what that does is it allows you to basically sync your phone, put it in the wireless charger, and then forget about it. And you can do everything through here. So I like that. And it has both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both in the wireless environment. So that definitely gets a huge thumbs up from me. However, all right, so if you look at this and you look at this, that to me is just a little bit old school. So we've seen the new Cadillac Escalade, and it has this big, beautiful screen, and this is not that. This is barely bigger than my cell phone. So I would like to see a bigger screen here, and maybe something going on here because you have your analog gauges, which are fine, totally fine, but this center screen here isn't really terribly customizable. It doesn't really have anything attractive or very graphically present there. And yeah, I think that to me is just kind of a wasted opportunity. And I would love to see a full digital cluster, or at the very least, something that's a little bit more interesting in that middle space and a little bit more configurable. Okay, so the interior is kind of a mishmash of things that I like and don't like. Again, you've got some really attractive seats. I love the, you know, the little Cadillac emblem wing that appears there. I'm really intrigued by this right here, which is like an ultra suede material. I don't think I've ever seen the ultra suede carried through on the dash before. I like that. And you've got the ultra suede here on the A-pillars and the ceiling liner. You have a really nice panoramic roof. So I like that. I like all of those things. But okay, so yeah, now let's get into something I hate on this vehicle, and that is going to be the seats. Okay, I like the way they look, but they are so flipping uncomfortable, I can't even tell you. I literally feel like I'm sitting on concrete when I get in, and it's not just me. I don't know that I've ever talked to anybody who's liked these seats, but if you do, comment below and tell me why. But these are way too firm for me in all seating positions, and I would not want to spend a road trip length of time in this vehicle. For a short commute, it's totally fine, but yeah, anything longer than like 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, that is not going to be my favorite. Something else that I don't like is the way that this environment works. So you have your home button and you have, you know, your mute button. So by the way, I would reach to go here and I'm always hitting the mute button with, you know, the knuckles of my fingers as I'm like trying to deal with the screen. So that would be thing number one that I don't like. But you don't have a Cadillac back button. So a lot of home screens for Apple CarPlay will have a button on here with the automaker's name, and then you can press that to go back to the main infotainment system. Nope, instead you have to hit this little home button right here, which will take you back to this screen here, and then you can flip through your different settings. All right, so let's talk about the settings now. So you have your navigation items under here, and you have your home button, your music, your phone, navigation, and your climate controls, which, by the way, redundant, other than the fact that if you wanted to sync or unsync your dual climate control, you do actually have to go into this climate functionality right here to hit that button. So all right, you got that, but what you don't have anywhere on here is going to be a camera button when you are in a tight parking space and maybe you want to see what's going on in front of the vehicle. So, all right, you put your vehicle in reverse and you get your backup camera. Yay, that's great. And then when you put your vehicle in drive, it does flip to the front, so there's a delay. It flips to the front so that you can drive. However, if you are in park and then you go to drive, yeah, no forward camera pops up, and there is no button anywhere to access that camera. Instead, if you would like to access the camera, you have to go to your home button, and yeah, your home button again, and there it is. So it's on your main screen, but there's no way to add it as like a shortcut anywhere down here. And that to me is a miss. I'd like to see a button for the camera here, or I mean, heck, Toyota often puts it here. I would settle for that at this point, but there is no button to access the camera when you are driving forward, unless you go into your settings screen, and I don't like that. All right, let's end this front seat tour with something I do like, and that is going to be these front cup holders. So I usually go on a little bit of a tear with cup holders because they don't fit my large water bottles. And so this is a Contigo water bottle. It's about 24 ounces. And I mean, it's not super wide, but it doesn't often fit. However, it fits here, and I like that. Then you get to my tall cafe latte. Okay, so it fits in here good, and it sits in there relatively deep. I don't have too many concerns about it falling out when I make a hard turn, but if I had a venti latte or something that was a little bit taller and also skinny, that would provide some concerns. Because here's the thing, when you look down into these cup holders, there are no prongs that add extra grip to hold these in. So I do like the placement of the cup holders. I like the fact that they are on the right side of the gear shift. So if you have your hand here, or if you are dealing with the redundant controls with this dial, you know, you're not gonna bump into your cup holders or your cups, and it's not gonna be an issue here. So I like the placement. I like that it fits my large water bottle. If I could add a wish to the list, it would just be that there were some prongs in there. I want to move to the back seat because I do want to talk about another feature that I really like back there. All right, here we go. We have rear climate controls. So you can adjust the fan speed, you can adjust the temperature, you can adjust where it is hitting you, so your feet or your head. So you have some options to hit in terms of what you would like, and you have heated seats back here. So I like that, as well as the fact that you have air vents. So sometimes you'll have the climate control, but the air vents are coming out from underneath here, or you'll just have air vents without being able to set your climate control here. So I like that this is the whole package. The only thing that's missing, and I don't think it's a miss really because I would never use them, but maybe that's just me, probably just me. There are no cooled seats, but that again doesn't bother me. I like the heated seats, and I like the fact that, hey, if somebody up front is really, you know, heating things up, you can turn things down back here. So that is definitely a huge win. Now, I would like to point out that this seat is in my husband's passenger position. I like to call this the douchebag position because in addition to moving it all the way back, he's got it tilted back. So somebody who would try and sit behind him, well, it would be a little bit of a tight fit. So if I slide over here, I could do it. I'm about the size of an average 10-year-old. And I mean, I would, okay, maybe an inch between my knee and the back of the seat. And I do also have plenty of foot room there. So I could do it, but you'd have to ask this person not to be a douchebag and to maybe move the seat forward and not slant it back as far as what it is. So I do think that there's a decent amount of leg room back here. That is another bonus. And I also really like that you have excellent finishing touches back here. Sometimes automakers forget the back seat, but this is nice and padded for your armrest. You've got the wood accents back here again, some nice stitching, the Alcantara suede again on the door as an accent. And again, as long as this person doesn't do what my husband does, you'll have a decent amount of leg room back here. Maybe not for a tall adult, but definitely for a more average sized adult. Since we are back here, I will also point out, if you only have 4 passengers, you can pull this middle seat back down and you have a couple of cup holders. And hey, look at this. This actually has those little prongy things or a little bump out to hold your cup holders in. That's what I want in the front seat. Why is it in the back seat? They paid more attention back here than they did in the front seat. So at any rate, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, so there you go. And yes, these seats are just as uncomfortable as the driver's seat. I'm just going to say that. Now, another one of the things that I like on the XT5 is going to be this, and it is a kick-activated liftgate. And what I like about it is Cadillac kind of gives you an X marks the spot. So when it's dark outside, you'll actually see a Cadillac emblem kind of on the floor that shows you exactly where you need to kick so that you can open the liftgate. What I like about that is once you know where it is, even when you can't see the emblem down below, you're going to be able to kick to activate the liftgate. And furthermore, what I also like about this feature is in addition to kicking it to put it up, so you've got your hands full, you come up, you kick. Say you're taking something out of this, and by the way, this is really good cargo volume, but say you're taking something out, you've got your hands full, okay, your button is up there. I can't even reach that with my nose or the top of my head. So what I can do is I can come back and I can go like that and I kick underneath again and it will go down as soon as it's sure that I'm clear of the liftgate. So that is a feature I definitely appreciate. If you've ever seen anything that I've done with kick-activated liftgates in the past, you will know that I have a hate-hate relationship with them, but this one I actually really like. While I am back here, let's take a quick look at this cargo area because this has decent space and it has some available tie downs here in addition to a tonneau cover and some LED lighting. But here's the thing that I really like. Say you've gone to IKEA, Home Depot, someplace where you need to put some stuff in here and you need to put those seats down. Well, you don't have to go into the back seat and hit that lever right there. Instead, you have a lever right here and you just pull on it and your seats will drop down. Now, of course, the front passenger seat can't be in the far back position, but I like that it makes it easy to drop those seats if you need to load cargo. So that is definitely another nice feature. Okay, before we get into a couple of other cool features and my driving impressions, I do want to talk about this just a little bit because this right here is my average fuel economy, 15.5 miles per gallon. And I will say that in my 164 miles, I've done some highway driving, I've done a lot of city driving, but I should be getting better than that. The city fuel economy for this vehicle is 18 miles per gallon. This is an all-wheel drive model. It's got the V6 engine. But I should be getting at least 18 miles per gallon, and I am not even a little bit. So that to me is a big disappointment, and I have kept the auto stop-start button on the entire time I've been driving, so stopping at stoplights and stop signs and things like that, the engine shuts down, and that has done nothing to help that. So this is a bit of a downer. If fuel economy is important to you, you are not going to get it on this vehicle. Now, one of the last features I want to talk about is the driver assist package on the Cadillac XT5. Now, this vehicle will come standard with safety equipment like automatic emergency braking and pedestrian detection, but it does not come standard with adaptive cruise control. And I actually really like the adaptive cruise control on this vehicle because it works really well from several different directions. So first off, if I hit the cruise control button here and I turn the vehicle off and then turn the vehicle back on, that button stays active. Now you can't resume the speed you were going before you cycled the vehicle off, but you never have to hit this button again, and all you have to do to set your cruise control is hit the set button. So it will set it where you are, and then it can go up in increments of 1 mile per hour, or if you give it a hard press, it can go up or down in increments of 5 miles per hour. That is really good functionality. I like the way it operates. I like the way it handles, and it's just everything about it is intuitive and easy. I like the fact that the buttons are right here on the steering wheel, so you don't have a weird lever that you're searching for and trying to figure out if you hit the resume button or turning it on, whatever. I like it right here. And I will say it operates well. So somebody just pulled in front of me, and the vehicle just kind of braked a little bit as they were a little bit slower than I am. Then they moved out of the lane, and now the vehicle is speeding back up again. So as I'm approaching a vehicle in front of me, the vehicle, the XT5 is going to sense that vehicle, and now it's like slowing down. What it is not doing is speeding up to that vehicle and then slamming on the brakes. So it has a much more natural feel to it in terms of the adaptive cruise control sensibility. So it's not a herky-jerky movement, it's more like I would drive. And it does leave a little bit more of a gap in there that I would leave if I were in control of the speed modulation, but that's a safety thing and it's totally fine if you don't like it. By the way, just turn it off. So speaking of turning it off, the other thing that I really like about this driver assist package that you can get on the XT5 is the fact that it's pretty customizable. So right now there is some lane assist technology going on. So it's not going to, it's not a hands-free system. You have to keep your hands on the wheel. But it just kind of gently nudges you to keep you in the center of the lanes. And it will give you a little bit of an alert if you're crossing the line, and there's a little symbol back here. It'll turn red or orange if you're getting a little bit too close to the lines. But it's not aggressive, and it's not really in your face. However, here's the really cool thing about it. If you don't want the lane assist functionality, there's a button right here. You just press it and the lane assist functionality turns off, and you can basically drive the way you want, and you aren't going to have any nannies pushing you here or there. Now, in terms of other driver assist technology, if you go into your settings on this screen here when you're not driving, you can turn various things on and off. So I like the fact that you can control the level of assist technology that you have engaged on the vehicle while you are driving it. And say your kid's going to be driving it, you can turn it all on, and if you don't want it, then you can turn it all off. So I like the adaptive cruise control. I like the driver assist functionality. I like the fact that automatic emergency braking is standard. What I don't like, because there had to be something, everything is kind of like and don't like at the same time, I don't like that this adaptive cruise control and all of the other safety tech, lane centering technology, etc. is an option. That's a package. So that I don't like. Now that we've hit some traffic, there is just one other thing that I want to point out with regard to the adaptive cruise control. It operates all the way down to 0, and I really like that because sometimes a system will shut off at about 30 miles per hour, and then when you're in stop and go traffic like this, the driver is stuck putting, the gas brake, and that is what is the fatiguing part of driving. And adaptive cruise control, in my mind, is supposed to be a de-fatiguing system. It's supposed to aid the driver, and when it is most useful is in situations like this that will take you all the way down to the stop. Now, I will point out, when you do get all the way down to a stop, after a couple of seconds, you do have to just kind of tap the gas pedal to get the vehicle moving again, but then it will jump right back into adaptive cruise control and modulating your speed and taking you back up to the speed that you have set on your speed limit for the cruise control. So, I like that. Now, another cool feature on the Cadillac XT5 is going to be the automatic park assistant. And we've seen this before in other vehicles, BMW, Ford, lots of automakers have this feature. And basically what it is, you press a button and the vehicle parallel parks itself. And while I know how to parallel park and I actually like parallel parking, there are a lot of people out there who don't like parallel parking. So this feature is for them. And what I want to say is this is not one of the most advanced park assist features that I have experienced. And we'll get into that when I find a spot. So let's see if I can find something that is a little bit tighter than I would normally go into. I'm going to press this park button right here, and you kind of move forward slowly. It's looking for a spot. Found the alley, but let's see if we find this one here. Okay, so it found another one. So you stop, you shift it into reverse, and you take your hands off the steering wheel, and the vehicle is going to do the parking for you. So you can notice that it is checking there, it is looking at the space here, and it is doing all of the steering, but I am doing the braking. So it's giving me an alert. I'm getting close to that vehicle there. I'm going to back up, back up, back up. And then it says drive forward slowly. So it's telling me to shift it back into drive. And then it's going to do this, and it is going to do all of these little micro adjustments for me. So now it's telling me to back up slowly, be prepared to brake. And all right, so backing up slowly. All right, it's telling me to drive now. So it's doing all the micro adjustments. It's working me into this space that frankly is a little bit tighter than I probably would have tried to get into. So that's all good and well. I like that. Now it's telling me to stop, and I need to back up one more time to center the space. And let's see, backing up slowly. All right, I'm stopped, and it says it is complete, take control. I'm going to put the vehicle into park. Okay, so why is this not one of the more advanced systems that I have experienced? Well, first off, it will get you into the space, but it only does the steering. There are some vehicles that I've had that have done both the steering, the shifting. I guess I shouldn't say both. It has done the steering, the shifting, and the gas and the brake. This doesn't do that. So BMW definitely has a little bit more of an advanced system than this. Ford also has a little bit more of an advanced system than this, but it gets the job done, so that is good. But I guess if you're going to have a system like this, and by the way, if you're going to charge $2,700 or $2,275 for it, you would like it to be a little bit more advanced than what it is. But I mean, it does the job, so we'll leave it there. But the one thing that it doesn't do that I really wanted it to do is, okay, now I'm in this spot and I want to get out of it. So we'll hit the drive button, and then we'll hit this button again, and it's looking for the parallel parking spot. It's got the arrival. Well, it has a departure option. I haven't figured out how to activate the departure option. So that to me is a little bit weird, because you can pull into the space, but then it doesn't pull you out of the space. And it, again, looks like you should be able to pull out of the space. And I did RTFM, so don't tell me to do that. I looked at the manual. I didn't see any reference to this. All it talked about was taking it into the spot. So I don't know. But I do like that it goes onto the right side, or if you're on a one-way street like this, it will park on the left side as well, and it can do both parallel and perpendicular parking. So if you are at the grocery store or something like that, it will back into a space for you in a parking lot. So I like it, but again, I just want a little bit more, especially when you're looking at something that's a part of a package that is kind of pricey. All right, now that we got it in the spot, let's see how difficult it is to get out of it. And you'll notice, again, I put it in drive, the camera did not flip on. I'm really too close for me to not want that camera activated, so I have to do that. And then it shut off. What the heck? All right, so now I'm gonna go to reverse. And as it's giving me this alert here, it's also vibrating my seat. That's kind of fun. All right, I feel like I got into that, or got out of it, better than the vehicle parked itself. Just gonna point that out. Okay, here we go. This is the sticker sheet for the 2022 Cadillac XT5. You can see that I'm in a premium luxury with the all-wheel drive, and I have the 3.6 liter V6 engine. So it has a 9-speed automatic transmission. All right, so you do get some things that are included here, and you have the all-wheel drive, like I said, and decent stereo system, the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, that is standard. You have the OnStar Trial, which is going to be standard, and heated seats, standard, illuminated door handles, standard. So some really good things there. The forward collision alert, pedestrian braking, intelligent automatic high beams, lane keep assist, all of that is standard. So, all right, your base price for this specific vehicle with this trim is going to be $50,000, with $50,795. So now we get into the options. So the Platinum package is about $4,800. The Technology package is, $2,200. That's the one that has that park assist functionality. Then you have the Night Vision, $2,000. The wheels, you got special wheels, that's $1,700. The Driver Assist package, which has the adaptive cruise control in it, as well as the enhanced automatic reverse braking, reverse automatic braking, and then you have the Comfort and Air Quality package, which has that tri-zone climate control that I really like, with the rear seat, heated seats, and the rear seat climate controls. But that's not it. But wait, there's more. So the embedded navigation, the Bose stereo system, and the paint, those are all options. So the as-tested price with more than $15,000 in options is $67,965. All right, so yeah, that is a pretty steep price, but what I want to say is I had a Lexus RX 350 with the F-Sport package a few weeks ago, and that was pretty similarly priced, and it didn't have half the stuff that this vehicle does. So $67,000, I actually don't think that's that bad. All right, it is time for me to give some driving impressions on the Cadillac XT5. And that's a hard one for me because there are things that I like on this, and then there are things that I really don't like. So ride and handling is pretty good. The acceleration with the V6 engine, also really good, but it's a Cadillac, so it definitely feels a little bit heavy. However, acceleration, so that gets a thumbs up. The ride comfort is really good. It's pretty smooth on rough surfaces. It's comfortable on the highway, but then you get into seat comfort, and that is 100% total thumbs down. These are literally the worst seats I've ever sat in. So you've got some good technology, but then you have these little screens. You have a little center display, and you have some good standard safety technology, but then you have analog gauges. So I just really feel like everything about this vehicle is up and then down. So I'm going to give it a solid sideways thumb, because I wouldn't buy this vehicle, but a lot of people do. So surely there's something on this to love and to like and to be able to live with. For me, the seats aren't them. I had my husband sit in the passenger seat. First thing he said, when he got in the vehicle was these seats are literally awful. So I know I'm not alone. He's taller and heavier than I am, and he hated the seats too. So good technology, bad execution. Really nice interior design, bad seats. Incredible acceleration with the V6 engine, but it's a little bit heavy in terms of the driving dynamics. So again, it's just up and down and a little bit like that. So that's where I'm at with this. Probably not a great summary in terms of driving impressions, but you're just gonna have to drive it and decide for yourself, because this is not a vehicle for me. All right, that's it. That's all I got. A pretty wishy-washy, so-so review for the Cadillac XT5. That's it. That's all I got. But I want to say thanks for watching, and be sure to check us out on the web at pickuptrucktalk.com. Until then, I will see you down the road.